and welcome to the Nature Codes podcast. I'm Amira Daly, an energy healer and mentor. I deliver inspirational tips and shares on how to welcome nature into your life to inspire transformation. I will share with you guidance, tips, and interviews to nurture that special bond between you, the universe, and nature. Hello and welcome back to the Nature Codes. It's so good to be here with you today. On this episode, I want to talk about what I'm learning about clearing land, and I'm at the moment just getting to know the energies of land and understanding it. My guides are showing me ways of clearing the land, but also I'm about to embark on a course about clearing land and all of the ways we can do that and the steps to do it and just practicing. So I'm also learning to use dowsing rods and my pendulum to work out energy lines and things like that. I also clear space. I clear my own home quite regularly with light language, which is super powerful. For instance, the other day I was having some really bad dreams, and one of them was quite intense, and I was just getting woken up in the night, and I was thinking, I went in the shower anyway. I do get a lot of downloads in the shower, and one of the things that came through was that I needed to clear the house. So I've got a map of my house, which I use, and then I use my pendulum to work out which areas of my home need clearing. And so I found the only thing that needed clearing was my bedroom. Surprise, surprise, because that's where I'm sleeping and that's where I'm having the bad dreams. So I wasn't surprised that it came up that I had negative energy in my bedroom. So then I asked Archangel Michael to come through me and help clear the room, and I just got taken into this channel of saying light language through my room and using hands. So when I'm clearing, I use my hand movements and I use my voice. So Archangel Michael comes through my voice in the form of light language, and I go around clearing the energy. I don't actually know what I'm doing. It's just very automatic. It's like I've done it before. It's not me who's doing it, it's someone else. I'm just going with the motions and just intuitively going around the room, channeling basically. And so I did that, and then I just checked with my pendulum whether the energy was now clear, and it was. And then I've been sleeping so well ever since. So that's just some of the power of clearing your house and what it can manifest in. Well, it can manifest in better sleep, feeling calmer, feeling more peaceful, not getting interrupted in the night. It's really important to make sure your house is clear of negative energies for sure. And so because I'm clearing my house and I'm so connected to nature, I've just really felt this pull to be able to learn to clear land as well. And so one of my friends came with me to a walk in actually someone's private land, but we were given permission to go into it. And so we kind of had the what three words, and we knew kind of where the land was. So we drove. It's actually an area of outstanding natural beauty. So it was meant to be. We were really excited to go. But on the day that we'd said that we were going, it was torrential rain, and I was thinking that's interesting because normally when I'm doing something positive, the sun shines, and the weather reflects the positive energy, whereas on this one it was really wet, and we were I don't know. I was saying, should we go? This doesn't look great. I asked my pendulum and it said, yes, go, you need to go today. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go with it and trust that this is the right day for me to go. So my friend arrived at my house and I got in the car and we drove down with our like rods, pendulums, crystals, ready to like do a walk and like find energy lines and like understand the land a bit more. So we got to the entrance of the piece of land and there was a locked gate and it said Bullenfield, danger. And we were like, okay, this is weird. We've been given permission to come in. They know we're going to be working on the land. So I rang them and they said, oh, no problem, it's fine. The cows are very docile. We don't think the bull's in the field anyway. But just keep your wits about you. And I was thinking, okay, all right, well, hopefully this will be okay. And he was like, yeah, we don't have the key for the gate, but you can just climb over. So anyway, we both ended up climbing over this gate. My friend is used to climbing over gates because she works in festivals and events, so she's constantly climbing over gates, whereas I'm not so good. So I was like, oh gosh. Anyway, we got over. I luckily had intuitively packed my wellies, and because when we got into the field, it started off fine. And as we walked down the track, it was like this really steep incline. And we were thinking, wow, it was meant to be a path. They'd put like almost, it was so, this whole trip was so magical because there was almost crystal. There was like marble rocks that were marking the path. I don't know why, but the people that actually own the land had made a footpath and they put like almost this crystalline rock to like mark the track. So we followed these crystals. I mean, how funny is that? It's like the symbolism is insane. So we walked down this track and I was like, that's a really good, like lovely sign, like we're like walking down a track with crystals. But it felt really scary in parts because it was so steep and it was so wet. We were like, oh my gosh. Anyway, we got to the bottom to a flatter bit and then the incline then turned into like a bog. My friend was wearing ankle wellies. She wasn't wearing full wellies and she literally almost got her whole foot stuck in the mud. And I thought, well, I've got the longer wellies on. I'll go first and work out where the mud's less deep. But as I kept going, the mud was getting deeper and deeper to the point where almost my whole welly was in the mud. And I was like, okay, I don't think this is going to be practical. And then my friend was like, oh, I found another way round. So she walked on a wall down. And we were like, this is mad. This is like we're walking through a swamp. And my friend's really connected to earth energies. She's really into like fairies and gnomes and trolls. Anyway, she'd actually been reading about trolls. And she was like going, mate, I think this is troll territory. I'm getting the sense there's trolls here. I don't think they want us here. And I was like, wow, why would that? She said, this is what happens. They like put obstacles in your way because they don't like people on their property because it's their energy and their like sanctuary basically. And so, yeah, they don't like people on their land. And I was like, wow, well, literally, I'm not joking. And then there was this, there was almost like this dome and it looked like a little home, like a little tiny home. And I was like, this could not get any more enchanted, like enchanted forest at all. Like it was mad. It was mad. And anyway, we got to this point where we were like, we actually can't go any further. So we were like, we're going to have to go back. So we went back and when we went up the hill again and all the way round, and climbed over the gate, got into the car, and we were like, let's find another entrance. Maybe the upper part of it, the higher part of it, isn't boggy. So we drove up and round following this map that the landowner had given us, and we found another entrance. And as we wanted to park next to the entrance, my friend's car wouldn't move. So it felt like we were in deep mud again, but the car was in deep mud and it had gotten stuck. And she was revving and she was trying to push through this mud, and basically the car got stuck, and to the point where the wheels were spinning so much that smoke was coming out of the wheels. And I was like going, mate, I think there's smoke coming out of the wheels. She was like, right, let's turn off the engine. So we got out, had a look, and there was like smoke coming out of the side of the car. And we were thinking, right, we're going to have to just leave the car here for a minute because we actually can't go anywhere. And we looked at where we were. There was no mud. It was soil. It wasn't deep. There was rocks. There was no reason why the car had gotten stuck. No reason. Like, it was very, very strange. I looked at where the tyres had been, and there was no mud there. And I was thinking, what is going on? Like, this land does not want us on it for some reason. Anyway, Louisa then had to move the car, and because someone else was trying to get past, and she was like, I'm so sorry, our car got stuck and we couldn't, there was smoke coming out of it. So she managed to move the car out of the way enough for the other cars to pass. We climbed into the field. I mean, we probably should have just gone home, to be fair, but we were like, no, let's just climb into this field. So we climbed into this field, and this field looked a little bit better. It was like, there was no mud, it was fine. So we were walking through, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll be able to walk through. This like looks good. Anyway, as soon as I'd said that, all of a sudden, wellies just started sinking into the mud again. And I was like, what is going on? Like, it's only just finished summer. Like, it hasn't rained that much. It's rained for like a day. And like, the mud here is so deep. This is so insane. So we literally couldn't go any further in that field as well. So anyway, we went back, climbed over the fence. Louisa we had rods, so we found out that there was energy lines on the land, but we couldn't work out where they were because we couldn't actually get to them. That's about as far as we'd worked out because we couldn't actually get anywhere. Anyway, we got back into the car. The car was fine. And before that, I did actually do a brief clearing because I was like, I think this land needs some like clearing. So I did it really briefly, but to be honest, we were kind of like put off by then. And I was like, I think we just need to go. I don't think this land wants us there. And so we got back in the car and we drove off fine. And then we saw a rainbow, and the rest of the way was joyous. Like, my friend had sent me like this really lovely light language for me to listen to when I got home, and I was really excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this land is like, it's like we weren't meant to be on that land. Like, going there, getting there was really hard, difficult. Leaving it was easy, lovely, and great. Like, rainbows. We even saw a van with unicorns all over it, which is what my friend communicates with unicorns as well. We were thinking, this is actually a sign of land not wanting us there. I got home, I had like loads of downloads from my guide saying, this is a teaching for you to understand land and when you're welcome and when you're not. And I spoke to my friend who's also really connected, and she tuned into the land as well and said she thinks there was trolls there. And basically the trolls were trying to teach me, because I think I am meant to be clearing land, and I think these are like teaching points, right? I have to have experiences in this way. Like, I have to be dealing with these kind of energies, these kind of landscapes, in order for me to learn how to work with land. And it's just so interesting that all of this happened in the same time that I'm doing a course in clearing land and starting to really understand that aspect. So yeah, it ended up being quite a good teaching point for me, not in the way that I'd fully expected, for sure. So yeah, that was my story of yesterday, which was very amusing, and I still look back at it and laugh because I just think it was just so interesting. So yeah, that's my story about the land, and I'm really excited to start learning more about clearing land, and hopefully in the future I'll be able to offer something like that at some point. Once I get my own website up and running, which at the moment, maybe when you're listening to this, it will be fully up there. You can look at in the description to see if I've finally got my website up and running. But I just wanted to lay the ground for the next podcast, because the next podcast is very, very exciting for me. Since I've had my root chakra cleared, and I think I'm going to go through the process of what happens with that. I believe I've had my root chakra and my sacral chakra blocked for the majority, if not all, of my life, and I finally managed to clear it completely, touch wood. And since then, my channel has become so much stronger, to the point where I knew that I wanted to channel dolphin light language, but I also felt the dolphin needed to come through and channel through me a message for the collective. And I kind of got to know the dolphin a bit before and understand what type of dolphin it was, where the dolphin was located, why this specific dolphin, what kind of thing the dolphin wanted to come through. And then I went into my channeling and just spoke out this most amazing message from this dolphin. And this dolphin really wanted this message spread, and like really wanted to kind of guide us into creating a better earth for us. And it was just so lovely, and I was just so I just still feel so privileged to be able to like vocalize this beautiful animal's message for everyone. So yeah, definitely look out for next week's episode, because I will be reading out what I channeled from this dolphin. So, yeah. Sending so much love and light. See you next week. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please subscribe to the Nature Codes podcast so you never miss an episode. If you enjoy what I'm sharing, please rate and leave a review so that other nature lovers can find me too. And lastly, follow me on Instagram at The Nature Codes for more inspiring free content, as well as access to all of my programs.